Well, it's official. I've passed the A plus. Um, why would someone who's been working in IT for many years take the A plus? Especially since I already have some upper level certifications. Um, that's a good question. So, as a teacher, I wanted to see how hard it was and how hard it would be for some of my students to be able to better help prepare them. So, uh, it was an interesting test to go ahead and study. And just like all certifications, there were questions that um, were not fun. And let me give you some examples of what those would kind of be like. I can't give you examples as to what's on the test. We can't talk about specifically what was on the test, but the question types you can. So sometimes you have a question where they're looking for the best of two good answers, um, and that's hard because it's really hard to see to decide which one is the best. And sometimes I actually disagreed with the practice tests. So I did I just bought this nice little book that had tons of practice tests. I'll link to this book down below. And it was pretty good overall, but there were definitely some questions that were wrong. So, and this, particularly chapter 6, after question 200, the the quality of the questions severely decreased in chapter 6. But for the most part, they were awesome. But you do get questions where you're trying to look as to which is the best. And usually what you can do is you can weed out two wrong answers, and then you're really debating between two answers that are both correct. And they're both correct to a very close degree. So it's really hard to decide which one's the right one. But at least you've weeded it down to a 50-50. So it's your best guess there's a good one. The other type of question, and I'll actually give an example that's not IT related, is when they just give you a really bad example. They give you really bad answers. So the question might be, what type of food do you like to eat? And it's dog food, cat food, dog feces, cat feces. And as you look at it, you quickly get rid of the feces. But dog food and cat food are both not that fun. And so you're looking at the best of the worst answers. And I think they do that because in life, you often have to deal with bad circumstances and you don't have an option that's good. And you just have to choose the best of the bad. So I think there were questions that kind of fit both those categories: the best of the bad and the best of the good. So I'm going to take you through a few things. I'll link to these down below. So A plus Comptia, it is one of the really cool things is it does help people get into it. Well, it gives you a little bit of an edge on others who don't have the certificate, but it also gives you the ability to be considered for some of the government jobs. So they only last for a certain amount of time. So just expect you're going to have to renew any certificate that you have. And one of the cool things is the more certificates that you have, oftentimes the renewal process you go to for any of them can count towards all. So as long as it fits well enough in the category. So a few things that I found. So I really like that the National Initiative for Cybersecurity Careers and Studies, this is a government website up here. I'll link this down below. It has information on each of the sections, the learning objectives. So I work mostly with Linux. So Windows is one that I wanted to make sure I shored up some of my lack of understanding there. And so this is something I stumbled on, and I really liked it. Skillsoft does have their own course for this, but the courses you'll pay quite a bit for a lot of them. But what I really liked is, if you go, I guess it's at their site. If you go to Skillsoft's site, it will take you and tell you what, maybe not. Shoot, there's certain books that are really good for this. I'll find that and link it down below. But basically, the Comptia Books, the one that I have, the preparatory one, and Mike Myers has a great book. So Mike Myers also has his training course for A plus on LinkedIn Learning. So I'll link to his page down below. And then, of course, Professor Macer's a good one that has some free content for A plus. Both of these have paid content as well that you can use, practice tests and things like that. But there's free content as well. So getting a couple books, doing an online course is not a bad idea if this is the first certification you're getting. And A plus is a good first level cert. So I was surprised at actually how much Linux was in it, in the practice tests, and that was able to play to my strengths there, as well as the security to overcome my weaknesses in Windows. So that was good. Anyway, I hope that this will help you in your certification learning journey. Whatever you choose, just study and make it happen. If you don't pass on your first attempt, that happens to some of us. So I have, there's one certification that I did not pass quite a while ago, that was a bit devastating. So for a little while, but I passed another one right after. So I will be doing quite a few certifications this year. So I will try and link to good materials that I find as I prepare and pass those exams. So we'll talk to you later.